Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Anthony and today we are reviewing the second generation Nissan Juke. Now, the previous generation was a resounding success. It sold 10,000 units here in Ireland alone and 1.5 million around the world. So no pressure on this newer model. Nissan have obviously diverted from that overtly funky front and have given a bit more of a slick look to it, and I do like it myself. I am a big fan of these 19-inch black alloys on a Nissan Juke. That's mad thought really, isn't it? This is the N design model and we have obviously the white with the black roof. Offsets it really well. Really good looking car. Yeah, I'll just stand back from it and look with you. I like it. It's a good looking car. So moving on from the looks, you can obviously decide for yourself if you like it. We'll take a look around. Now moving on to the back, looks quite good too. It has the ubiquitous coupe crossover vibe going on here, and actually there's a cool little divot running down the length of the car. Two lumps either side, kind of sports car almost. So what are we dealing with? Well, it is 20% bigger than the previous generation, so you have 422 litres with the back seats up. If you drop them down, you get 1088 litres of space. There is a floor here too that you can adjust, so that will help you deal with a higher lip. You can have it high, you can have it low to have more space. That is way handier when you are loading stuff because the lip is rather sizable. In terms of other little bits and pieces, not a huge amount. There are two hooks either side. And the light. Yeah, I think that's it for the boot. It's good space though, and that floor is handy. So much like the boot, the back seat has also increased in size in the Juke. I am very thankful for the 1 centimetre extra of headroom, because otherwise I think I would just be, scraping the top when I sit back and up straight. Knee room has increased by 6 centimetres, and I'm very thankful for that too, because there is actually plenty of knee room space too. Feet, fine too. I'm 6 foot and I'm behind myself. It's not bad, like I really wouldn't have any huge complaints. There's 2 Isofix also, and the seats are firm but comfortable. Some very cool speakers actually, and they have a nice fake carbon fibre around them. I do like that. Lightweight speakers, yeah! There is only one USB port down here, standard USB, so keep that in mind if you have 2 kids and they're fighting to charge their phones or iPads or whatever. 2 adults, 3 kids. Happy days. Doors open nice and wide too. Hope the camera picks that up. Good space. I presume getting child seats in and out wouldn't be a massive issue. Good back seat. Well done. Good back seat. Front of the Juke. Well, I will say I had no issues getting comfortable when I first sat in. There's good adjustment in the seats. You can adjust the steering for reach and up and down. Reach and rake. Settle in and comfort is not an issue, and actually I did do a couple of 100 kilometers when I collected the car, and these seats are very comfortable. They don't maybe look it on first appearances, but yeah, I've had no issues. They're really nice and comfortable and hug you in well. So infotainment, well, there is an 8-inch touchscreen up here in front of me, and it works well, has most of what you would want. It is intuitive, but it is not visually the most appealing thing out there. Fine, but just looks a bit old. Moving down the center, you have this kind of cool bubbly bit here with 3 air vents. Looks well to my eyes anyway. Actually feels pretty decent. Don't think that would break quickly. You also have control of your aircon via 2 knobs, which is nice and simple and straightforward, and what everyone should do. Simple buttons as well for all the other bits. A nice spot for your phone. You sit in, you just slide it in there, off you go. 12-volt charger, USB and auxiliary. I do like this sort of, now it's not real leather I don't think, wrapped around the center bit here, and it follows around here too on the dash. I think I did see on the Nissan website that you can get it in that kind of fake Alcantara suede, which looked really cool, and it had some red stitching. Really like that look. We don't have that today, we have white stitching and this sort of fake leather, but it looks quite good. Practicality is covered well with 2 cup holders here in the middle, big one in the door, and yeah, and a decent glove box. Well, it's not massive, it'll do a job. And I do like that it has incremental stopping points. That just feels like quality for some reason to me. When it can stop it, it's not just flopping about the place. One nice little last feature is there are some lighting options, and it comes up here and around the gear stick as well. This particular bit feels a bit cheap, the lights and stuff, but like that, you're not going to touch it that much. And who does this on a regular basis? Buttons feel fine. You'll set it to auto and you'll forget about it. We'll talk about pricing. The Juke starts at €22,000 for the entry level and goes all the way to 27, I think, before extras for what we are in today. The N design and the SV Premium are both at the top, and I think the same price, and then there's two in between that. I do like this one. I do like the visuals. I think it probably is worth a bit extra just to give you that cooler design outside, and inside as well. It actually looks pretty well too. Okay, let's go driving. Shall we dance? So behind the wheel of the Juke, I think we'll start with the engine lineup. It's not really an engine lineup, it's just one. And it's a 1 litre petrol, 3 cylinders, turbocharger, straightforward. It's got 117 PS, 180 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour takes 10.4 seconds, and it's just driven through the front wheels. It's a lovely little engine, and it does like to be revved, which is kind of strange for some of those smaller petrol stuff. Some of them you have to really stir around the gears to keep it moving, but this thing, like I said, peak power is at 5,250, so it does like to rev out, and it's quite a characterful little thing. Actually sounds pretty good too. You can hear it when you're outside a bit better. It's well refined inside, but it has that little 3-cylinder thrum every now and again when you do rev it out, as it likes to be done. Now you do get choice when it comes to gearboxes. You can have a 7-speed auto or a 6-speed manual, which is what we have today, and I'd imagine most buyers will go for the manual. It is a bit cheaper, so yeah. So at those motorway speeds, the engine is calm, the cabin is well insulated for the most part. Wind noise is a tad high, but that's not uncommon on these higher crossovers. You're just interfering with the wind more, so it's not surprising. Wouldn't have any engine complaints. Now the gear change, I'm not a massive fan of it. It's got quite a long throw. Like, you really do have to pull it back and push it forward, and it actually feels it has like a double movement. You do feel kind of that neutral position a bit more than you might like. You would like a shorter throw, and it's a long gear stick, sticks way up, and yeah, personally would like it a bit shorter, but I don't think most people will be too upset by it. One actually annoying part is the reverse. So to get into it, you lift the little ring and pull it to the side, but the gap between the ring and the top of the gear stick is too much. Now I did test this with my mom, and she would be prime Juke target audience, and she did find it a bit of a stretch just to pull up the ring and pop it into reverse. It's only a small thing, but it might irritate a bit. So fuel economy is pretty decent from that great little engine too. Nissan quotes 6 litres per 100 kilometers. I'm seeing 7 here, so close enough and pretty typical of most quoted versus real life. And it has a 5-star NCAP rating just to make you more assured too. Moving on to handling. Well, like, it's not bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. There is some kind of strange weightings at times through the corners, and when you really get to the edge of the steering, the weighting can be a bit odd, and sometimes there's odd feedback, but this is only when you're pushing it, and I think most Juke drivers won't be pushing it. They won't be going ham. They won't be out there tearing up the tarmac. Yeah, handles fine, handles neutral, and will suit most Juke purchasers perfectly fine, won't even notice. To play around with some of the driving dynamics, you have driving modes, and it's a little switch down here by the gear stick. You have standard, which we're in now, then you pop it down and you get eco, so obviously engine isn't as responsive and it's more geared towards fuel economy. Pop it up and you get sport. You can actually feel it there. It just got a bit more responsive. it got a fair bit more responsive actually, and it does, yeah, it's not bad. Like, grip gives up when you push it too hard, and that's fair enough. It is only a little crossover and not really geared at that sort of thing. But the engine really does pep up in sport mode. You get a good kick off it. I really like that engine. That engine is very impressive. Very impressive little engine. Love these little 3-cylinder 1 litre petrols. This is a good one. In around town it's really good too, and that's really where it's meant to be fair. Visibility is pretty good. The only major complaint I would have is the back pillar is very thick, and visibility out of that final quarter is tricky, shall we say. Thanks to that engine you can juke in and out of gaps without any massive issues. Oh yeah, I went there. Juke and jive. It's a good package. So things like, what's its competitors? Things like the Capture, the 2008, the Puma. We all have those reviewed as well. All good choices too. It's hard. It is a bit cheaper to get you into a higher spec. So do keep that in mind if you're looking at spending in around the high 20s. If you want to search for a Juke on CarsIreland.ie, please click on the link above. I'll pop it in there. Have a look around, see what you might find. Yeah, put it on the list. If you're into small crossovers, pop it on your list. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you again next week for another review. Bye bye.